In this episode, you're going to learn how to quit drinking alcohol in 2024. And I'm about to share with you an epic and comprehensive menu of alcohol detox, treatment, and recovery resources. To break down and organize these myriad resources to recovery and make navigating the many options easier, realize now that there are only 3 categories of pathways to alcohol recovery and drug addiction recovery. Within these 3 overarching categories, or classes, or divisions, or groups of pathways of recovery, there are dozens and dozens of specific roads to recovery. Now, let's begin with what is referred to as the clinical pathway to recovery. Clinical pathways of alcohol recovery involve professional intervention from a healthcare provider, clinician, or other credentialed professional. Here are some examples of clinical pathways to recovery. Clinical treatment: medically managed inpatient treatment, clinically managed residential services, intensive outpatient and partial hospitalization, and outpatient services. Pharmacotherapy and medication-assisted treatment. Medications like naltrexone and the Sinclair method, TSM, or the monthly injection of the Vivitrol shot, which is a delayed-release form of naltrexone, or acamprosate, benzodiazepines, and other medications can be used for alcohol withdrawal symptoms mitigation, cravings, etc. Behavioral therapy. Working with a therapist that does acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, motivational interviewing, MI, family therapy, etc. Holistic therapies. Another term for this is integrative health, or integrative and complementary modalities. It involves integration or assimilation of the whole person, the whole mind-body-spirit complex, with the main goal of promoting and facilitating overall wellness and harmony. Some of the most commonly used holistic therapies are mindfulness, meditation, massage therapy, acupuncture, yoga, hypnosis, music and art therapies, aromatherapy, and animal-assisted therapies. Now that we've covered the clinical pathways to alcohol and drug recovery, it's time to discuss the most popular pathway to recovery. The second category of pathways is non-clinical. Non-clinical pathways to addiction recovery are the most utilized and make up a little more than 50% of preferred pathways. Non-clinical pathways represents recovery processes that do not involve a clinician, but do nearly always involve community-based and peer support-based pathways. Some popular non-clinical recovery pathways are recovery residencies, also known as sober homes, sober living homes, or halfway houses. These are non-medical settings designed to support recovery in a substance-free environment, commonly used as a transitional bridge from residential treatment back to employment and then obtaining more permanent residence. Additionally, in non-clinical pathways, there are recovery community centers, education-based recovery services, employment-based recovery services, and the popular peer-based recovery support, also known as self-help groups or mutual aid organizations. There are also 3 categories of mutual aid organizations. The first category is 12-step, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, Narcotics Anonymous, NA, etc. Category 2 is secular groups, non-12-step. These are much less utilized than 12-step, but they're growing, especially Smart Recovery, LifeRing, and Women for Sobriety. The third and final category of self-help groups is religious or faith-based, also known as faith and culture-based recovery support. Celebrate Recovery is a very popular type of faith-based mutual aid organization. Finally, now we've come to the third and final category of recovery pathways, which is known as self-management pathways, or self-directed, self-managed, and sometimes referred to as quote-unquote natural recovery. This category involves recovery processes that do not include formal services. Self-managed pathways are not engaged with the formal process of recovery or engagement in professional services. In self-managed or natural recovery, individuals choose their path of recovery. After failing at addiction recovery for ages when trying clinical, non-clinical, and self-management pathways, I finally found a path forward that worked great for me. After doing a medication-assisted detox from home, then only 30 days of AA meetings, I began my self-directed path to recovery, and I found immense success with natural recovery when I attempted it at age 32, and it worked well for me because I've been addiction-free for 12 plus years now. Here are some real-life examples of natural recovery or self-management pathways of recovery. For myself, on my 31st day of recovery, I began a journey that involved a combination of family support, friends that didn't drink or take drugs, a healthy, safe, drug and alcohol-free home living environment. I stopped seeing my drinking and drugging circle of friends, and I focused on personal development, reading 1 to 2 books a week, health and wellness, fitness, surfing, music, mindset training, resilience, growth and contribution, service to others, hiking, camping, yoga, Qigong, meditation, and spirituality. Chris Scott, the founder of Fit Recovery and my co-host on the Elevation Recovery podcast, first used clinical pathways of recovery by going through a medical alcohol detox followed by a 30-day residential inpatient treatment that focused on 12-step recovery. After Chris graduated from treatment, he also paved a self-directed path to recovery that closely mirrored my natural recovery process. Chris was also reading 1 to 2 books a week and doing self-development and healthy family and friend support system, plus health and fitness and supplementation. Although while I focused a lot on surfing for exercise, Chris focused a lot on heavy deadlifts. So, what is the best pathway to recovery? Well, the truth is that despite what a small percentage of 12-step members say, there is no best path to recovery, and there is certainly no one path only to recovery. The key concept for you to discern is that there are many paths and many roads, plus there are many ideas about what recovery is. Each person is highly unique, and thus different pathways to alcohol and drug addiction recovery will resonate with different people depending upon their type of addiction, addiction severity, personality, demographics, psychographics, and many, many other variables that add so much nuance to a person's situation. And with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, my friend, and I'll see you next time.